This is case number 503 on the calendar in the matter of James Cahoot versus Cahoot. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Victoria, this is your father.
Yes.
Is that right? And Miss James, Victoria has been living in your house for the past 18 months?
Yeah, 19 now, I think.
Your lawsuit seeks support from Victoria's father for her over the last 18 months. The defendant says that his door has always been open to his daughter. She can come back and live with him whenever she wants to. And he provides for medical coverage for her. Some other things I assume that he's going to tell me, and he has no intention of paying you for support because his daughter should be living at his house. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Victoria, how old were you when you left home?
15 and a half, maybe 16.
And where did you go?
My friend Amanda's house in Grants Pass, and I lived there for about a month, and then I moved in with Perry. And I lived there for about 4 months, and then I moved in with Alicia James.
Why did you leave home?
My dad was abusive. He was always drunk, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. He would throw me out of the house and kick me out. He kicked me out and said that he didn't want me living in his house anymore.
What did you have a fight about? You had a fight about something?
Everything. My friends, school, me going out, everything.
Your parents are divorced, is that right?
Yes.
How long have your parents been divorced?
Since I was 1.
And were you always in the custody of your father?
No, I lived with my mother, and then at age 4, my dad had temporary custody for I think about 4 months. And then I moved back in with my mother, and I moved out when I was almost 13 and moved to Oregon to be with my father.
So what prompted you to move in with your father when you were 13?
I never really lived with him. I wanted to know what he was like.
You have siblings?
Yes, 1 brother.
How old?
23.
Okay. Now, when you left the first time and you went to your friend Amanda's house, did you stay in contact with your father?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You knew she was living with Amanda?
I knew she was living somewhere, and I just wanted to make sure she was safe, so...
Did you know she was living with Amanda?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you take any steps to have your daughter return to your house, legal steps at that time? The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
What did you do?
I called the local police and had her listed as a runaway.
No, that doesn't try to get her back. All
Well,
that does is cover you behind. When
well-
you try to get her back, you say, I want my daughter back. And you go to court, and you bring Amanda's parents to court, and you say, listen, you're interfering with my parental responsibility and my parental right to have my daughter living with me. I want this thing resolved. And reporting a child as a runaway when you know where she lives is ridiculous. All right, now the next place she went to the... Did you tell your father where you were when you were at the... You were there for 4 months.
Yes.
Now, Miss James, what prompted you to allow this young lady to come and move into your house?
Perry had asked me if I could take the older 2, which would have been Vicky and Karen, with the younger 2, my daughter and his daughter, all take them shopping for school. And I said, yeah. So we took them all. I took them all. The girls got in an altercation, and Vicky could no longer stay with them. So I asked Vicky, I says, well, what are you going to do? She goes, I don't know. I don't have a place to go. And I says, well, you can't stay with me unless I talk to your father. So she agreed to that, and immediately, right then, after the altercation, and she found out she couldn't be there, I went over to Mr. Cahoot's house. And I asked him the situation that was going on between him and his daughter, you know, told him what had happened. He told me under no circumstance was his daughter going to live with him, that he was not allowing her back in the home.
Why?
He told me that she was out of control, so on and so forth. Just, you know, basically a bad kid. I said, well, I don't know what to do here. I said that I agreed that she could stay with me. I agreed that she could stay with me, but I couldn't afford to support her because I could barely afford to support myself and my daughter, and that he would have to, you know, help out with food and clothing and, you know, medical and stuff like that. He agreed to do so, and he did. He helped for about the first 3 months.
What did he do for the first 3 months?
He made sure that he bought Vicky a few items of clothing, nothing major to start school with. He helped out with food.
How did he help out with the food? Did he buy food or did he give you money?
He bought food, and he had food at his house and extra food, and so he would bring it over.
But he didn't give you a set amount of money.
No.
Go ahead.
So anyway, and then on or about September 21st, I had Victoria and her father and me sign an agreement of the rules that we would be living in the home, and I do have a copy of that.
I'd like to see it, please. Would you show this to the defendant and ask him to look at it and tell me if that is his signature, which I have compared to the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That is your signature witnessing, as witness to the agreement between these two ladies, the rules of the house.
Yes, ma'am.
And Vicky has been living with you ever since.
Yes, the agreement, part of the other agreement was, Your Honor, that Victoria's grades would be kept up in school.
Well, that's right here. C's are better.
Yep.
Have you been doing that?
Here's a copy
Yes,
of
I
her
have.
grades and an honorable mention in our newspaper for this first quarter's.
How was your daughter doing in school when she was living with you, sir?
Not well. I sent her to another school, and she seems to have done better. I sent her to a lockdown adolescent.
When did you do that?
2000.
Well, evidently, that didn't work out either.
It cost $28,000 to get her in there, and I did through all the therapies and everything I could with her. She was out of control. She was listed as a runaway more often than not.
Well, something wasn't right, sir. But evidently, whatever it was that wasn't right is better now that she's living with the plaintiff.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. 18-year-old Victoria Cahoot says her father, David Cahoot, owes for the cost of her living expenses. David says Victoria should be living at home.
Whatever it was, it seems to have been resolved with her living with the plaintiff. Have you seen a copy of your daughter's grades?
Yes, I have, and that's just a recent thing, ma'am.
Recent or not, it appears to me that living with the plaintiff seems to have resolved, at least temporarily and hopefully permanently, the problems that your daughter was having, at least scholastically. Wouldn't you say that that's true, sir?
I would not say that living with her has caused all this to be the success. I think finally it's Victoria that has finally come around, and with all the school that cost me so much, she's finally learned her lessons and decided she can't be a thug that smokes, drinks, and stays out with the boys, have sex with the boys in my room, and leaves the evidence behind for me to clean up.
Sir, usually when children act out very badly, they're trying to make a statement. Now, that's not to say that she should not be responsible for what she does. She is responsible. What I'm looking for you to do is to take responsibility for what you and your ex-wife have done to her. Because if you think that it's a normal arrangement for a child to live with one parent, then go to the other. Go back to one parent, then go to the other. That is not a normal arrangement, sir. And I don't know whether, and I'm certainly not going to get into the fact with you or your daughter, because I think it's counterproductive as to whether what she says is true, that you have an alcohol abuse problem.
No, ma'am, I do not.
Well, I said I'm not getting into that, because just as I don't think it's productive for you to have brought up to me, now with your daughter here, the negatives of her past behavior, so too, sir, do I think that it would be stupid for me to explore whether she was right or wrong in saying that you had a substance abuse problem. Do you understand? And were abusive to her. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the only issue that I have to resolve in this case is whether your daughter was living with Mrs. James with your permission. Your answer says she was not living there with your permission, that your home was always open to her.
Yes, ma'am.
And therefore, you are not liable for her support. The contract that you witnessed in October of 2001, which outlined the rules for your daughter remaining in Mrs. James's home, is testament to the fact that your daughter was living there with your permission and approval. That being the case, sir, you are responsible for her support. Period. End of discussion. The only issue is how much. Put your hand down, madam. Do you get support for your daughter from her mother?
No longer, ma'am.
When did it stop?
On her 18th birthday,
Which was when?
18 February.
So from the time she came to Mrs. James's home for the last 19 months or 18 months, you were getting support from Vicky's mother for her. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
In what amount?
$275 a month.
What were you doing collecting support for her when she wasn't living with you?
I maintain a home for her.
No, sir. I'm already telling you. You permitted her to live with Mrs. James with your not only tacit approval, with your active approval in witnessing this agreement. You said, keep her. She's too much trouble for me. I'm giving you my permission to keep her. I'm witnessing the agreement that you two are signing to permit her to live in your house. That doesn't mean she's living there without your permission. Your door is open. You may have spoken to a lawyer who said to you, listen, as long as you can convince a judge that your door is always open and that all she has to do is abide by your rules, you're not responsible for her support. That's not the case here, sir. She lived outside your home with your permission, and you're responsible for her support. Not only that, would you be responsible for her support, but you're getting support from her mother for her and keeping it. You can't do that. $4,950 so far. Next, did you claim her on your tax returns last year?
Yes, ma'am.
She wasn't living with you for the full year.
She was living with me 6 months.
So you took advantage of her status as a minor child without any of the downside, which means that you kept her mother's money, the $275, you claimed her on your tax returns. You didn't do the right thing, sir.
And I provided the medical for her, which is not inexpensive.
Just a second.
I provided medical, and I still do.
How much? Just a second. How much does it cost you to provide medical coverage for your daughter?
Because I'm a retired military officer,
Yes.
we get it for the entire family for $460 a quarter, which is full coverage.
Just a second. $460 a quarter for the entire family. That's you and who else?
Her.
$1,840 a year. Now, what is an individual plan?
They charge me $90 for a quarter.
Show me.
I don't think I have that down here. I just have where I have her on here. And I have my medical bills I spent during that time on her.
Good.
Because I did cover her.
Good.
The bills where I covered her, you would like to see them, ma'am?
No. Did you spend more than $5,000?
A year? No, ma'am.
No.
Close to, well, a year. With Victoria and all, it was about $800 for a year. Total.
$800 you spent.
Plus, ma'am, earlier though, on this, when I had sent her this this adolescent treatment team there in Reno, which she was diagnosed with oppositional defiance disorder, and a very big handful, and I did my best, Your Honor, to do what I could to. I went to family psychology meetings with her, and everything. She asked me to quit my job. I did.
Listen to me, sir. What I'm saying to you is your daughter seems to be doing fine. And what I'm saying to you is, we're talking about money. And so far, your ex-wife contributed to you almost $5,000 in support for your daughter who wasn't living with you. Now, let us assume that each of you have a 50% responsibility to support your child. That means you would pay $5,000 and your ex-wife would pay $5,000. And so far, you've told me that in a year, you spent $800 on your daughter, which, even if you had no obligation to pay support for her, which you do, still leaves $3,500 that you wound up in profit. Profit. From what your ex-wife sent to you for the support of your child that you didn't turn over to her. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I paid $200 a month to have someone pick Victoria up while I was working for the post office to take her into school every day And I picked her up when I got off work in the middle of my night, so to speak, because I work nights at there. She requested that. She said, Dad, everything will be great if you quit your job.
You're talking about when she was living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't care when she was living with you. That's what you do. You're her parent. You do whatever you have to do. I'm talking about between you and a stranger. Did you pick her up, pay $200 a month for somebody else to pick her up from school when she was living with Mrs. James?
She rides the bus.
I'm asking you a question.
No.
I don't care what you spent on her. I don't care if you spent the last dime that you had in the bank. She's your child. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm talking about when she was living with Mrs. James.
Anytime she called me and says, Dad, I need something, she got it.
You took money designated for her by the courts and sent to you by her mother and used it for yourself, sir. That's what you did. That is not permissible. That goes to her. That's for her support, not to divert some of your own expenses.
Ma'am, I was attempting to be a parent, and Ms. James was not allowing me to be a parent.
Then what were you doing signing this document?
I was trying to make my child safe. If she's going to run around, I at least want to know where she's at, with whom she's with.
Then you know, then she's there with your permission.
She still has a bedroom there and a bed in there to go into it.
Let me explain something to you. You can't double talk me, sir.
No, ma'am, it's the truth.
No, you're double talking me. You went there. You understood where your daughter was living. It has been a good arrangement for your daughter. Clearly, it has been a good arrangement for her. And your responsibility as a parent is to see to it that your daughter is supported. Now, I'm not even getting into what your individual responsibility would be for her support. But minimally, the money that her mother sent to you, court-ordered, for support, should have gone to Mrs. James. And I'm not belaboring the point, and that's $4,590, sir. That you had no right to take from your daughter. You had no right to take from Mrs. James. You had an obligation to turn it over to her immediately. And if you don't understand that, I'm not spending any more time, wasting my time trying to explain it to you. You had no right to take her money. Period. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,590. That's all. $950. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 545 on the calendar in the matter of Flick versus Flick. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Mrs. Flick, the defendant is your soon-to-be former daughter-in-law.
Yes.
Currently married to your son, but I assume that you're in the process of divorcing. Is that right?
Yes.
It is your claim that she owes you money for two things. First, some hockey tickets that you paid for that were never delivered. And second, some slashed tires in a car that your son was driving and that you claim the defendant vandalized on two separate occasions. How long have they been married?
They've been married since August 13th of 2002.
When did you give her the money for these tickets, these hockey tickets, and why?
In October, they went to a Minnesota Wild, Detroit Red Wings hockey game, and my son is a Detroit Red Wings fan. My son's birthday was in March. He said he wanted to go back. Michaela has had an arrangement with her employer where he would buy hockey tickets and give them to her at cost. These were extremely good seats, but they were still $70 a piece. I agreed because it's my son's birthday to purchase 6 tickets.
Just a second. You agreed with whom?
Michaela.
And you said 6 tickets?
6 tickets.
And who was supposed to go?
Michaela and David, my son David.
Which is David? Raise your hand, David. Okay.
Myself and a friend of mine, my son Neil and his girlfriend.
Okay. So, did you send Michaela a check?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of that check?
I have a check. It's not made out to her. She asked because the money was going to be deducted from her paycheck, that was money she needed to pay rent. She asked me to make it out to the place she was living at the time.
Is that right so far?
Yes.
Okay. So what happened?
My employer took the money out of my check, and he was going to get the hockey tickets for me. It was taking a long time, and Charlotte was concerned about her not really getting the tickets because her son has done things where he hasn't exactly been honest with her and took money from her before. So during this time, he wanted to start up a home-based business, a web design company. And so December 8th, we went out to Walmart. He bought a whole bunch of stuff, a computer printer, a scanner, ink cartridges.
He bought a lot of stuff, yes.
A lot of stuff. And he took that money.
What money?
The $420, that's what he bought that
can't-
stuff with.
He can't take the money. The check wasn't made out to him. It was made out to the rental company in October 28th. He can't take this money.
I got the money back from my employer. The employer gave me the money back.
Show me.
I don't have anything
This
to
wasn't,
show that.
listen to me. So what you're telling me, this is your defense, your employer gave you back the money that he had taken out of your pay to buy the tickets so that you could take your husband shopping for something else.
Yes.
You still owe her the money.
Okay.
Do you understand why? No, but I'm going to explain to you why.
Okay.
You had a contract, verbal, with her. Your contract with her was, I will send you $420
Okay.
and you will purchase these tickets. You cannot unilaterally modify the terms of that contract by contracting with somebody else, even your husband. Aside from the fact that I have a feeling if I ask your husband whether you took the money back from your employer,
He's not gonna tell you.
He would say no. Is that right?
Correct.
Right, because you're lying. That's just a lot of who shot John that you're giving me. All right, now let's get to the tire slashing. I just wanted to try to figure out what kind of person you are. Okay? Now here we go. So then we go to the tire slashing
The first one was January 27th
of 2003.
of 2003, and the second one was February 13th of 2003.
Who saw the incident of the 27th of January 2003?
My son, Neil. Neil, would you come up, please?
Neil, your last name is Flick?
Yes.
Okay. Talk to me.
Okay, it was about 11:15 at night. I was actually waiting for my girlfriend to come over because we kind of go out at night. And I saw my brother and his friend Neil Truitt, who's right there, waiting in a car. They proceeded to leave to go out on their own. And as I was watching, I noticed a celebrity, or it looked like a celebrity as I saw it, by my brother's car.
So they weren't driving your brother's car, they were driving a different car.
Neil was driving his Buick Regal. I saw her car, which was a celebrity, by my brother's car.
Your brother's car was parked?
Yes, it was parked on the street outside of our house. Excuse me.
Okay, go ahead.
And I didn't actually see her slash the tires. I see her actually enter her car, slam the door, and drive down the street.
And this was about 11:15 at night?
Yes, 11:15.
The other witness to that event was Neil Truitt, who was in the car with my son David at the time.
But he didn't see anything?
No, but he was on the phone with her, and she gave him a play-by-play description of what she was doing.
Oh, really? Okay, Mr. Truitt, tell me what happened on the 27th, sir.
See, I just went and purchased a car, so me and Dave were just going to go out driving. And I would say about a half hour after we had been driving around, I had received a call from Kayla, who I was also friends with at the time. And she heard that he was in the car with me. So she said something nasty about him. He said something nasty about her. She managed, I guess, to hear that. And by the way she was talking, it sounded like she might have been inebriated. She was like, well, you know, heck with it, you know, I'm going to go slash his tires, and hangs up. Well, that's why we had went back to his house, because he thought that she was going to really do it. I didn't think she was going to do it. But we stopped by anyway, and we waited just to make sure that she wasn't going to show up. She never showed up, so we left. And she'd called me up about 5 to 10 minutes after we had left. And she goes, well, I'm here now. And I said, where are you? She goes, well, I'm right here, next to Dave's car. And so she goes...
Did she say I'm right next to Dave's car?
She said I'm at the house. So
I'm
I'm
at the house.
assuming.
Well, don't make it up
Okay.
as you're going along. I want to hear exactly what she said to you, sir.
Okay, apologize. She goes, well, here goes the first one, and you could hear a thud. And she goes, here goes the second one, and then you hear another thud. And she says, okay, I feel better now, and then she hung up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Charlotte Flick says her estranged daughter-in-law, Michaela Flick, owes for hockey tickets and for slashing her tires. Michaela says Charlotte is seeking revenge on behalf of her son.
Go ahead.
The only reason that all this stuff is going on is
I
because
don't
on
care about the
December
reason.
8th.
Shh, listen to me. I don't care about what you perceive to be the reason. I care about whether you slashed your husband's tires. The answer is either I did
I didn't.
or I didn't.
I had just got back in town that night about 9-10 o'clock p.m. from Minnesota. It was Super Bowl weekend. And I was in the process all night moving from my residence to my mother's house. The second night, I got it.
I didn't get to the second night
Okay.
yet. Can you think of any reason why Mr. Truitt would make up this story?
Yes, I can.
I'll
December
hear you.
8th, me and my husband got in a domestic violent dispute where he pushed me and was in mid-swing of a punch where I broke a beer bottle outside his head. We were both arrested for
Yeah.
domestic violence.
Yes.
His mother bailed him out. I don't know why, because he's kicked her teeth in before. He has a history of violence. I found out that Neil, after this incident, my best friend of 7 years, was hanging out with Dave. Dave has a coke problem. I was getting on Neil's butt, wondering if he was into that now because he's my best friend and I care about him. Dave has a history of violence and a history of lying. He's done it his whole life. He's ran people over with cars. His little brother had to pry him off me while he was strangling me one time.
So
Dave,
it's the same. So it's the
shh. Okay.
And based upon what you're telling me, his brother's testimony is false as well for the same reason.
Yeah, I was not at that house.
For the same reason. And you can't think of anyone else who might slash his tires. Let me ask you this question. Prior to December of 2002, how many times had the tires been slashed on your car?
None.
Never.
Never.
And within 5 years, can you tell me how old you are?
Around 50.
Good. So in 50 years, nobody has ever slashed your tires. I'm just thinking about how old I am. I'm also somewhere around 50. And I, for many, many years, lived in New York City. Nobody ever slashed my tires. Now I'm going to ask you the same question. I know how old you are.
Then it ain't necessary to be said, right?
Yeah. No. That's not necessary. How many times did you have your tires slashed on your car?
Never.
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 So isn't it sort of coincidental that probably we have 100 years over here?
Mm-hmm.
And only after this domestic violence dispute that you had with your soon-to-be former husband do her tires get slashed, not once, but 2 times. Isn't that coincidental?
No.
Well, you may not like the coincidence, but if you understood what the word meant, you would understand that it is coincidental. It is coincidental. You may not like the ramifications of it, but the word that you would use under those circumstances, madam, is coincidental. Let me hear about February 13th, please.
February 13th, which we kind of expected something to happen. That would have been their 6-month anniversary. David went out and got into his car and found out that his tires were slashed at that time. About 5 minutes later, he got a phone call from Michaela.
Well, then I don't want you to tell me about that. He will have to tell me about that. Stand up. Go ahead.
I went out to my car after I was hanging out with a couple of my friends that night, and I got in my car, drove about half a block before both my tires went flat. And I got back home, called the police, and after maybe about 20, 25 minutes, she called and just tried to make small talk to basically get me riled up, I would assume.
But she didn't say anything about your tires.
She didn't say anything about the tires, but...
Okay, fine. Get over it.
Okay.
Get over it. You're supposed to act like grown-up, Miss Flick.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
21.
This is your first marriage?
Yes.
You don't celebrate your 6-month anniversary with your soon-to-be ex-husband by slashing his tires.
I was in the bar all night.
Right.
With my brother, who's right here.
Was she there, as she said?
Yes.
Right. Sure she was. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $621.24. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Michaela has a history of probably 20 destruction of properties.
No, I have 2 destruction of properties, and they're not slashing tires, they're breaking out windows.
Even at the last statement that the defendant made that this was her brother, that would probably be news to her mother or her father because it's not her brother.
She's my adopted sister. If she doesn't want to believe that, then that's her problem.
I think the judge is right when she says she needs to grow up.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Edie versus Nevius, step forward, please.
24-year-old nanny, Heather Edie, is suing 20-year-old waitress, Jillian Nevius, for assaulting her outside a bar. Jillian says Heather called her a name.
Miss Edie, it is your claim that the defendant assaulted you outside of the bar. You weren't seriously injured, but you want to be compensated for any medical bills that you have and for your discomfort. Ms. Nevius doesn't seem to deny that she was responsible for pushing you. She has an excuse. I'm going to listen to it. And she even at one point said she agreed to give you $150 towards whatever expenses you had. But then there was some sort of a disagreement about how she was going to get the money to you, which resulted in the 2 of you coming to court today. So, when was this bar fight?
It was on the morning of January 27th, 2003.
Which means what time?
1:45, I was leaving the bar.
So it was outside the bar?
Yes, in the parking lot.
Did you know the defendant prior to that evening?
I did know her, but we had never really spoken before then. I just knew she didn't like me.
What made you think she didn't like you?
Rumors, people telling me, and the way she acted. Well, she also admitted to people that she didn't like me, so.
Shouldn't bother you.
Okay.
So what happened?
I was out celebrating my birthday at a bar, and the defendant was there using a false identification. I was leaving the bar with my friend, and my friend said facetiously, you know, oh, I forgot to say goodbye to Jill. And I answered back with a derogatory name about the defendant, not knowing...
Why did you do that?
Like I said, I had heard all the things that she said about me. She had heard things about me.
So you called her a nasty name?
Yes, I did.
And?
And then I turned around, and she was in my face, and she pushed me down into the bushes. I fell flat on my back.
So she was around you when you called her a nasty name?
I did not know that, though. I was walking out of the door, and she was behind me. And I was talking to my friend at the time.
At some point, you turned around?
Yes, I did.
Well, what caused you to turn around?
Her yelling my friend's name.
And?
And she pushed me down into the bushes. I fell flat on my back and hit my head on the cement surrounding the parking lot.
Okay, and that's the assault that you're talking about?
Yes, it is.
You have a report?
I did not do a police report. I was going to, but we came up with a settlement outside of not using it, and because she was in the bar illegally, underage, I didn't feel that she needed any more trouble. So I didn't do a police report.
Okay. So she agreed to give you $150, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You want to tell me, is anything different about that evening from what she's already told me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Stop laughing. It's not funny.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not laughing. I do want to state my case. On the day it happened, the witness, which did not show up, Danielle, she was our friend, a mutual friend that I've been friends with for about 2 years. Since they started hanging out, she kind of stopped talking to me. They were going to leave, and this is a place that I've gone to with all my work friends, you know, every Sunday for karaoke for probably a good 3 months. I had never been carded there. I know. Okay. So, anyways, I went to go talk to my friend.
Let's get to 1:45 in the morning.
Okay. So everybody was leaving. The two of them were leaving. They had said goodbye to everybody except for me. And this was the second time that it had happened. And, you know, as a good friend of mine, I wanted to know. I wanted to get to the bottom of why she wasn't talking to me anymore. So I went out the door to go talk to her. Heather was standing behind her. And I go, hey, Danielle, can I talk to you? And as soon as I walked through the door, she had called me the name. And so I was like, hey, whoa, what, you know, I felt very, you know, I was like, wait a second. I just want to talk to my friend. I want to get to the bottom of it. Me and Heather have known each other. We have been cordial with each other. We've never been friends. But as soon as she called me that, I felt very threatened. And she had been drinking a lot. It was her birthday. We were celebrating. And when it happened, when she called me the name, I put my arms up in a defense mode. And then she was coming closer towards me. And so I did push her because I felt threatened. She was in my personal space.
Okay, so you pushed her and she fell?
Yes, ma'am.
And you agreed to pay her $150?
I did, after I had asked to see some kind of documentation that she had gone to the doctor. That's something that we verbally had stated. I did sign a letter to her because I'm the kind of person that...
I don't care what kind of person you are.
Okay.
Did she agree to pay you if you went to the doctor?
She agreed to pay me so I could go to the doctor. That was what the agreement was for.
Okay.
And I have the letter right here.
Can I see it?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I speak?
I want to look at the letter first,
Okay.
then you can speak. This doesn't say anything about going to the doctor.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Okay. I had written the letter. She had called me many a times. I was in the process of moving. I didn't know what to do. And once I...
You did it!
I know I did.
So do it!
And I had... Okay, so there's more to this story, Your Honor. I have messages on my cell phone, which I didn't get a chance to dub, which I should have, but I didn't get a chance to.
I'm interested what you didn't get a chance to do.
The night that I was supposed to pay her, at the bar that night, her boyfriend did come in and threaten me, and that is why my witness is here. He's been through the whole thing. He was there the time it happened, after it happened, and she fell. I told her that she was faking because the way she fell, Your Honor, I mean, it was...
You signed a note!
Okay.
She gave up the right to call the police and to have you charged with an assault or an attempted assault. You agreed to give her $150 so that wouldn't happen, and you didn't do it. So I don't care what happened with her boyfriend, with your boyfriend. I don't want to hear from either one of them. I hardly want to hear from you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $150. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may... Yeah, this is case number 543 on the calendar in the matter of Shoemate versus Overton. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats.
What's your daughter's name, the one who was in the car with the defendant's stepdaughter?
My daughter's name is Vanessa.
Vanessa, could you step up with your mother? Where's your stepdaughter, sir?
Here.
Step up here. What's your first name?
Michelle.
You want Mr. Overton to be responsible for your car that your daughter was using. I assume because she's a minor, it's registered in your name? Because the defendant's stepdaughter was driving the car. You say she exercised undue influence over your daughter. She's older. To force her to let her drive the car. The car was totaled. Mr. Overton's stepdaughter tells a very different version of the events. Neither one of the two adults were present during the course of these events. So I'm going to find out from the girls what happened, because you want Mr. Overton to be responsible for the following: the $250 insurance deductible on the car, a towing fee of a couple of $100, and also $1,000 in equity that you or your daughter had in the car so that you could go out and buy another one, right?
Yes. And in addition, my insurance also covered for over $1,000 of medical expenses for Michelle.
She was injured?
Yes, some wrist injury.
So she was injured. But
Yes.
your insurance covered that?
Yes, my insurance covered everything.
Okay. Well, what you have so far is $450 worth of expense. So you want to tell me why you think they should pay you $1,450?
Okay. I think it's important for my daughter to tell what happened on the day of the accident.
Okay, fine. On what date was this incident?
November 26th.
And who was in the car?
Me and Michelle.
I was in the car with Michelle, or Michelle and I were in the car.
Michelle and I, yes.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
How long has your mother let you drive this car?
She had been letting me drive it for about 2 months.
And tell me how it came about that Michelle was driving the car. Look at me when you tell this story.
Okay, from the start, me and Michelle, she asked me to take her for a drive. So we left South Eugene High School, and I told her no when she asked to drive my car.
No, she asked you to take a drive.
Yes.
Where did she ask you to go? Don't speak to your daughter. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you may believe her, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't believe her. I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to believe everything that she tells me, because if it doesn't make sense, I don't believe it. You're her mother, you want to believe her. Go ahead.
Okay, so we left.
You're in school. You're in class.
I didn't have class that period.
Where did you meet Michelle?
I saw her in the hallways.
And said hello?
Yes.
She said hello?
Yes.
What was the next thing that was said?
To tell you the truth, I don't remember.
Good. How did you get into the car?
I remember her asking to drive, and I told her no.
Where were you when she asked you to drive?
She asked me repeatedly to drive my car.
I don't care. You're not answering my question, madam. You're in school, and somehow you got to the car. I'm not interested in where you want to go with my questions. I'm interested in where I want to go with my questions. Do you understand?
I understand.
So you're in school. How did you get to the car?
We walked to the car.
Why?
Because we went for a drive.
Now, when you say we went for a drive, you were driving.
I was driving.
Good. Where were you going?
We were just driving.
So you were taking a ride?
Yes.
Had you ever driven in the car with her before?
Yes, I have.
Had she ever asked you to drive your car before?
Yes, I have.
Shh.
I mean,
Yes, she had.
has.
And did you ever let her drive your car before?
No, I did not.
Did it make you uncomfortable when she asked you to drive the car?
No, it did not, but I did not want her to drive my car.
You answer my questions. Prior to November 26th, she had been in your car and she had asked you to drive the car before.
Yes.
Often?
Yes.
And did it make you uncomfortable when she asked you to drive the car?
Yes, because she...
Then why did you let her get into the car on November 26th?
Because we were friends.
Don't put your hand up.
Okay.
Do you understand where I'm going?
Yes, ma'am.
where I'm going is, if somebody asks you to do the wrong thing, which is, I want to drive your car, and you're not supposed to let anybody else drive your car, then you don't put yourself into that position by letting them get into your car so that they can ask, can I drive it again, can I drive it again, can I drive it again? Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Good.
You're
okay.
right.
Right. So there we have fault, blame.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. 16-year-old Vanessa Shoemate says former friend 17-year-old Michelle Negron totaled her car. Michelle says she had Vanessa's permission to drive.
So now you're in the car, and she asks you again, can I drive the car?
Yes.
And you said?
I said no.
So what happened?
I pulled over on the side of the street after we were driving for a bit, and I told her she could drive because she had asked me repeated times while we were driving on that trip.
So finally you gave her permission to drive the car.
I did.
And she crashed it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Your version.
We were leaving...
Make sure that you don't give me any of this baloney story about her fainting that you put in here, okay? I don't want to hear any baloney story about her fainting, and she asked you to drive the car for 3 blocks. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
We were leaving school. We were actually going to get something to eat. And we got to the store. She went in and got something to eat. She came back out. And I did ask her to drive. She said no. And then I asked her again, and then she said yes.
Fine. You see how simple it was when we got rid of that fainting baloney that you told your stepfather? Do you understand, Mr. Overton?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because I know you wrote in your answer that she was going to faint, and my daughter didn't want her to faint, so she said she would drive. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of what?
Bull.
Right! Correct. So, your daughter insisted, didn't insist, asked once, asked twice. That doesn't mean she's supposed to say yes. That means that they're both responsible for what happened. Would that be a fair statement, Mr. Overton?
Yes, it would.
Good. So, you feel that you should be responsible for half of those expenses?
Yes, ma'am.
So?
Your Honor, I would like to ask our witness, Stephanie, to come forward because she has a pretty important piece of information.
Sure. Stephanie, step up. Stephanie, what do you want to tell me?
Just about an incident prior to the accident.
Go ahead.
Vanessa, Shelley, and I were on our free period, and we were going to go get food. So we go to Vanessa's car, and Vanessa forgot something in her locker. So she went back to go get it, and Shelley asked before she left, can I drive your car? And Vanessa said no. But then Shelley gets into the driver's seat, and Shelley turned on the car, and I asked her, do you have your license? And she said yes. And
Your Honor, that's not true.
Go ahead.
She backed up the car, drove forward a little bit, right in front of Vanessa when she was coming back from her locker.
So, I mean, what are you trying to tell me? I don't understand. This is a whole big story that I don't understand. What are you trying to tell me?
That she drove her car prior to the incident before the accident. Like, she had asked to drive her car and had been nagging on her. And
That's what you want to tell me. She asked and she nagged. Listen to me. Where do you live?
Eugene.
Okay. Are there any bridges in Eugene, Oregon?
Maybe one.
Is there a bridge there?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Shelley says to Vanessa, I want you to stand on top of the bridge and I want you to see if you can dive down, right? I want you to see if you can dive down and come up. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. But I want you to see. I want to just see if you can float, if you can dive down here and you can float. I don't want to do that. Oh, please, won't you do that? Okay. You don't do something you're not supposed to do because you're nagged. You say it's because she's older?
No, her statement was that my daughter had gone to her locker and said, don't drive my car. Michelle got into the driver's seat when my daughter wasn't present and drove her car.
Is that when there was an accident?
No.
No,
but
of course not.
It indicated that Michelle was willing to do something that wasn't right when she knew she didn't have a license, when she had been asked to not
Your
drive.
daughter did the wrong thing.
I know that, Your Honor. And
Fine.
your daughter
So what
has been
I'm
given
saying to you is she gave her permission to drive the car.
Mm-hmm.
It would be no different from your daughter giving a 6-year-old permission to get behind the wheel of your car. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
It's no different from giving another minor. She stands in your place when she's driving your car. You are the car owner. You are the owner of that weapon.
Right, so
a weapon is an automobile in the hands of someone who is inappropriately skilled to drive it. You have the choice. You have given that weapon to your 16-year-old daughter, and you are responsible for the misjudgments of your 16-year-old daughter. So if you can't rely on your daughter not to exercise perfect judgment, you have to accept the consequences. Because but for your actions, Mr. Overton wouldn't be here. You got to follow that logic. That has to be crystal clear to you. Mrs. Shumate, you exercise judgment by giving your daughter permission to have that car. And but for that fact, we all wouldn't be here today. And she wouldn't have gotten injured. He could turn around and sue you for the injuries that his daughter sustained because you exercised bad judgment in giving your daughter permission to have a car when she didn't know how to say no. So you should be grateful that I find that he, because I'm hoping that he will force her to do the right thing, is responsible for half of the $450. Not the $1,000 that you want in addition to that, but half of the $450 that you had in out-of-pocket expenses. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $225. That's it. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was told that my daughter had been in an accident.
my daughter made a mistake, and we've put a lot of consequences into place because of that.
A little upset and worried about her.
I've learned a lot from this. I was not like hounding her for the keys at all. I tried to talk to Shelly, but she seemed very like she didn't even realize what she did. We're not friends anymore.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Martins versus Seitz. Step forward, please.
24-year-old engineer Jeremy Martins is suing his ex-fiancée, 23-year-old orthodontic assistant Keely Seitz, for the cost of a car lease. Keely is countersuing for the money she put into the vehicle.
Mr. Martins, according to what I've read, you and the defendant were either engaged to be married or boyfriend and girlfriend back in the year 2000.
Yes.
Were you engaged?
For a short amount of time, we were engaged.
And during that brief period of time, you decided to lease a car for her, and she didn't have sufficient credit, so the lease was in your name.
That's correct.
But it was clear, the arrangement was that this was her car, and she would be making the payments on the lease. Is that right, Ms. Seitz?
Your Honor, we did lease the car together, and he told me on several occasions that I had terrible credit, but to come to find out that I have not.
Don't get into your spin yet. Let's just stay with the facts, the basic facts. The car was leased in his name, but was for your use, and you agreed to make the payments. Is that correct?
My name was also on the car, too.
Fine. And you broke up when?
The summer of 2001.
And you were the one who drove the car from September of 2000 to August of 2001. And when you broke up, you took the car.
That's correct.
And when you left, you started your life anew. So what happened, Ms. Seitz? You had the car, and then you returned it to him at some point.
Yes, I did.
When did you return the car to him?
In November of 2002.
You didn't need it anymore?
I asked him on countless times if he would please sign the vehicle over to me, and he's told me, kept on telling me that I had bad credit and that it was too much paperwork and things like that.
Just a second. In November of 2002, how much time did you have left on the lease?
I think about another 2 years.
But you decided to buy another car?
Correct.
What month did you buy another car?
In December of 2002.
So, Mr. Martins, you got stuck with the car and turn-in fees, etc., and you feel as if she should be responsible for that.
That's correct.
And what were those fees?
To end the lease early, it cost $3,746.95.
How come you're only suing for $1,800?
In the state of Kansas, $1,800 is the max you could ask for.
I see. And Ms. Seitz, you are counterclaiming because you say you used your car as a down payment back in the year 2000 for this lease.
Correct.
And since he turned the car in, you should get your down payment back. Is that right?
Correct.
Don't bet the farm on that. That comes under the category of chutzpah, which means a lot of nerve. You drove this car for 3 years. What makes you think you're entitled to anything?
Well, Your Honor, I honestly asked him on several occasions if he would sign over the vehicle to me so it'd be just in my name, and he would not.
Let me ask you this question, Ms. Seitz. When you asked him just to sign the vehicle over to you, had you made arrangements with the financing and the lending institution to take his name off the loan?
He said that he was going to look into that.
No. You look into it. You're driving the car. Why should he look into anything? There's a difference between taking his name off the car and giving it to you and still being responsible for the underlying loan. Do you understand the difference?
Yes.
Sure you do. So let's not be foolish here, because I'm not stupid, and I wouldn't expect you to think that I think that you're stupid. So giving you ownership of the car and him still having the liability would make him an idiot. You're not an idiot, are you?
No, ma'am.
Of course not. So why would he do such a thing? If you make arrangements to lease the car yourself and to have him released from any obligation to the lending institution, fine. But you just wanted him to turn it over to you? Ridiculous. Why do you think you should get anything back and not owe him a substantial amount of money?
Because I feel I put down the car, which was $6,000, and I faithfully made payments to him for 2 years.
You made payments for the car. He took the money so that he wouldn't get stuck, so that at some point you couldn't say, well, I made the payment, and then the company says you didn't make the payment, so you made the payment to him. He wrote out his check to the company. He didn't make any money off this deal. It cost him $4,000 for you to have a car. You think that's fair? Do you think that's fair? Because you wanted a new car. You managed to get a new car. You said, I got this old lease, and I'm going to be the only person in creation who's going to be able to walk away from a 5-year lease. Listen, you're not entitled to anything back from him. He is entitled to the $1,800, which is the maximum allowed in his jurisdiction, which is all he's suing for of $1,800. It cost him $4,000 because you wanted a new car. If you had kept the lease for the next 2 years, like you agreed to, he wouldn't have had a $4,000 expenditure. That was your agreement. You were going to keep the car and make the payments. You just wanted a new car, period. It doesn't mean you can walk away from your obligations just because he was nice enough to put his name on the form. Get real. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,800. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 574 on the calendar in the matter of Klein versus Collier. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Klein, the defendant is your former fiancé who you claim owes you for a car loan.
Yes.
A loan which was taken out in your name. He signed a note, according to you. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
He was paying the note, I assume, for a period of time, and then when you broke up, he stopped paying the car loan. You want that. In addition, you want some miscellaneous expenses that you had to incur in order to get him out of your apartment. The defendant, Mr. Collier, says that you have the engagement ring worth $3,000, you have his motorcycle worth some more money, and that you agreed that when you separated, it would be sort of a clean slate, and there wouldn't be any debts. Is that your defense, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's start with the car loan. You acknowledge the loan.
Yes.
How much is left on the loan?
$4,800 and some change.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. So you tell me, Mr. Collier, why you believe you are not responsible for this loan.
Well, I felt, Mrs. Judge Judy, that when we got engaged February 8th and that everything was going good, and that Wednesday, for some reason, she starts freaking out, calling my gym, seeing if I'm at the gym or not. And so I come home and say, what's going on? She goes, I just want to believe that you really love me. And I said, well, Christine, why did you take the ring and start acting like this? Then that Thursday, she went through my cell phone bill, called a couple of friends, asked if we had sexual relationships. And, you know, they said no. One told her yeah, and said that, you know, we did 3 times, and I tried to tell her we didn't. I don't, you know, and the girl goes to my gym. So then I said, you know, we can't do this anymore. Let's get our own, I'll get my own apartment, I'll move out. She agreed with that. She actually was going to sign for me to get the apartment because we didn't know if I would be able to get it in my name. We went out and looked that day. They turned me down when they saw my credit. Then we went through another week.
And were you still living together?
Yeah, we're still together. She asked me to stay away from home as much as I can. So I said, okay, no problem. I would stay at the gym as long as I could. Come home, I was sleeping on the sofa. So then we went through that week. The 21st came up. We went to a Laker game together, having fun, drinking. Everything was going good still. I think, okay, I'll get my own apartment. We'll try to make it work. If we can't, we can't. That Saturday, we both get up to go to the gym. She goes, her gym, I go to my gym. She goes, are you going to take the dogs for a walk? I said, yeah, I am. She goes, well, I'll go with you guys. We went for a walk. I went off to the gym. I said, I'll be home at 12. We'll go look for an apartment. I get home. There was 2 officers there with my stuff outside. I didn't know what to say. And I just stood there. And then they said, you have an hour to get it out of here. And then when we talked about me moving in the first place.
Don't go back. Don't go backwards.
Okay. Well, I'm
Mr.
just
Collier,
saying,
don't go backwards. Just
okay.
go forwards.
Okay.
So we are now, your stuff is in a U-Haul.
Right.
Okay, good. Where's the engagement ring?
I exchanged it for earrings because it was on my credit card. I was solely
It
responsible
was on my
to pay
credit
for
card.
it.
I have the receipt right here.
Yeah, but it's under my name. I'm paying for it. And he actually had the nerve to ask for me to give him the ring back so he could pawn it for money to move out. So I'll pay for my ring twice.
1 second. He signed for it.
Right, because he had a credit card under my account. My mistake.
Is this her credit card, sir?
It was, well, I was on there, yes.
This is her credit card.
It's, yeah.
Listen to me. I have a question for you, Mr.
Okay, go ahead.
It's her credit card. She gave you an additional card as an additional card holder.
Right.
When was the engagement ring purchased?
February 8th.
March 1st. Did you make a payment on the credit card?
No, I didn't.
There you go. Who did you expect to pay the credit card bill?
Well, I was going to pay the credit. Christine.
But you didn't.
But Judge Judy.
So right now, so listen to me, sir.
Okay.
Your defense to this $4,800 car loan is that she kept the engagement ring. That's
Right.
one. But she's paying for the engagement ring.
Right.
You're not.
Right.
So you don't get a credit for that, sir.
But
You
we
understand?
took-
You don't get a credit for the thought. You get a credit for the money. It was nice of you to buy it, but you also have to pay for it. You didn't pay for it, you don't get it back. Clear?
Yes.
What's the next thing? The next thing you wrote down here is you shouldn't have to pay for something because she has your motorcycle. Tell me about the motorcycle.
Motorcycle, she signed for it. For 4 months, I made payments on the bike.
Hold on.
And insurance.
Hold on a second. Motorcycle, purchased when?
10/12, 2002.
How much was it purchased for?
With tax and license, I don't know, 13, 12, something.
$13, $12 or
$1,000.
Let's say $12,000.
12,000.
She took out the loan for it.
She didn't take out any loans on it. She just signed for it. I
What
paid
do you
all
mean?
the payments on it.
Shh, listen to me carefully. You made 4 payments on it, you said.
Yes.
Shh, listen to me carefully. Shh. I want you to be quiet. Okay. Trying to get a point across to him. You made 4 payments on it.
Yes.
Each payment was how much?
$250 plus with insurance.
I'm just talking about the payments.
$200
okay?
for the payments.
$200 for the payment. So you made a total of $800. Miss Klein, I want you to be quiet. I want you to stand still and just be quiet. So you made $800 in payments.
Yes.
On a $12,000 motorcycle.
Right.
She has the motorcycle.
Yeah, I don't know where it is now.
She has it.
Yes.
You don't know where it is.
No.
You don't have it.
No.
Who is obligated to pay the $12,000 for the bicycle, you or Miss Klein?
Miss Klein.
So she has back the ring, which she made into earrings. She doesn't want your ring, but she's paying for it. So that's not a credit towards the $4,800 you owe her for the car. She has the motorcycle, which she is obligated to pay $12,000 for because she signed for it, and you made 4 payments of $200 each, and I assume you drove the motorcycle for 4 months. Is that right?
Well, when it was nice out.
I don't care whether you drove it
Well,
in the
yeah,
rain or in a blizzard, sir.
Well,
you had
yeah,
it.
I rode it.
You had it. You rode it. You used it. You paid $200 a month for the use of it, right? Forget it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Christine Klein says ex-fiancé Ricky Collier owes for an unpaid car loan. She also says she's keeping the engagement ring because she's the one who paid for it.
Why else don't you owe her for the car loan, sir?
Because we had an agreement that if I go on my own, she knew that I couldn't afford an apartment on my own, that she would take the loss on all the bills that we had together.
Why would she do that for you?
But that's what she said. And I said, are you sure you want to do that, Christine? She said, yes, I'll get another loan to pay off everything. That's what she said to me.
Well, why would somebody want to do that for you, Mr. Collier?
Judge Judy, that's what she said to me. I talked to her and I said, Christine, are you sure you want to do that?
She changed her mind.
She changed her mind. I totally
That's what
understand
women do.
Yeah,
That's what women do. They change their mind.
I understand that.
She decided you weren't
and
as
then
good as she
to
thought. I'm
court,
speaking.
But then she files this claim
just a
saying that
second.
she asked me for the money. And
Listen to me.
we haven't talked since the 21st.
Mr. Collier, didn't you notice my mouth moving, sir?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Judge Judy.
She changed her mind, sir. She decided that you weren't as good as she thought you were. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
She wants her money back. Ms. Klein, I know that you want to get into how you had to get bodyguards and hire people to get him out of your apartment. That's not my problem. Don't visit it on me. Visit on me only the fact that he owes you $4,800 for the car. Now, you both agree that that's what's left on the loan? Is that right?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,800. Thank you very much. Go have a happy life.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Clueless as to why he's clueless as to why he was kicked out when he was abusing me back since July of last year.
She probably felt like I was going to get angry if she kicked me out.
He's a master manipulator and an abuser, and I fell into the trap.
Because I have the tendency to get angry.
I'm just glad to be free and away from him at this point.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Romine versus Gauthier. Step forward, please.
Child care provider Karen Romine is suing her former friend, realtor Dolores Gauthier, for the cost of her dentures. Karen says, while pet sitting for Dolores, her dog ate them.
Miss Romaine, you were house sitting for the defendant and pet sitting, is that right?
Yes, I was.
Had you done that before?
No.
Were you doing it as a neighbor, as a friend, or were you being paid?
As a friend. I think she was trying to get me out of the house where my daughter and I were sharing a house, and I have 4 grandkids then. Kind of for sanity ways.
And what?
For my own mental.
For your sanity. So she was a friend of yours, and she said, you can come and stay in my house, take care of my dog, take care of my house while I'm on vacation, give you a little bit of a break. Is that right?
Yes.
And your complaint is that while you were there babysitting for the house and the dog ate your dentures.
Yes.
Right? Shh. And these dentures you had placed up on counter.
Yes.
Dog jumped up and chewed them. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Romaine, whose fault is that?
I guess it could be mine. I thought the counter was high enough where the dog couldn't reach him.
When you say, I guess it could be mine, she was on vacation, right?
Yes.
So it couldn't be hers. You can't sue the dog. So what are we doing here?
Well, I thought it would be her responsibility since I was watching the dog. Yeah, and
No, you're supposed to take responsibility for your own actions. Miss Romaine, you answered right the first time, which is what surprised me about your lawsuit to begin with. She's on vacation. You agree to watch the dog. You're watching the dog, and you were supposed to watch and take care of your own property. The fact that you miscalculated and let the dog get a hold of your property and destroyed it doesn't make her responsible. Makes you responsible. So you got to take care of your own business, right?
You're right.
Perfect. Good. Then we don't have to bother each other any further. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Went well?
It was quick.
I came home from vacation and she showed me a baggie with her teeth in them.
Your dog ate my teeth.
Well, I felt bad, but I felt she was negligent.
We're still friends.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Montgomery versus McCarthy. Step forward, please.
25-year-old student Brandy Montgomery is suing small business owner Caitlin McCarthy for having her falsely arrested. Caitlin says Brandy charged at her swinging a keychain.
Well, quite frankly, I read both your complaint and answer in this case, and I really am quite confused. The best I can come up with is that, Miss Montgomery, it is your claim that the defendant filed a false police report and had you arrested for assault.
Yes.
Those charges were ultimately dismissed. You say they were false to begin with. Ms. McCarthy says that you did, in fact, hit her with a set of keys. Is that
Yes.
right? Mm-hmm. How do you know each other? I couldn't even figure that out from the papers.
Ma'am, her friend was my roommate, and that's how we met.
Now, you say it was a friend of your roommate. Who's your roommate?
Our roommate was Dakota. Her name was Dakota.
She lived with you and your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
Until when?
That day she was moving out was that day. The reason she was moving out is because we were not getting along. So she had decided to move out, and we were moving out a couple days after that.
Go ahead.
I had met her once when I first moved in with Dakota, which was the roommate, and then again on the day of the incident.
All right, well, I'd like you to tell me your version of what happened on the day of the incident, which was when?
It was on July 28th. I have a police report right here. Would you like?
I'd like to see it. Come on, start talking.
Sorry.
My husband and I got home from picking him up from work. We go downstairs to where we live, which is like a 2-story condo type place. We go downstairs. I decide to go to the store, so I go back up. So I go upstairs. I saw the defendant in the driveway. I walk past her. I do not say any words to her. I get in my car. I drive away. I go to the store. I come back from the store, and there's sheriffs. There's about 4 sheriff cars in the driveway. I park my car, walk towards my driveway. I get arrested.
And that's all you know?
That's all I know.
25-year-old student Brandy Montgomery is suing small business owner Caitlin McCarthy for having her falsely arrested. Caitlin says Brandy charged at her swinging a keychain.
All right, Ms. McCarthy, now I'll hear you.
Judge, I didn't know either Dakota except for that day. I have never met the plaintiff before the day of incident. I was asked by a friend to come and help her move. She said she needed to move very quickly because there was some back rent due. The landlord wanted the money and she didn't have it.
Who's the friend?
The friend is Beverly. She lives in Nevada, but she had introduced us.
Beverly, but nobody connected with the plaintiff.
No, I don't know any of these people.
Beverly is somebody that is not involved in this case other than the fact that Beverly asked you to go and move Dakota.
Correct. That's correct.
So you were actually in the plaintiff's apartment,
yes, ma'am,
helping Dakota move.
Yes.
Oh, well, now I understand.
Yes.
Go ahead.
We had moved for a couple of hours, been packing boxes. In fact, the plaintiff did come with her husband back to the house while we were moving. So I'm helping her move, and I was in the kitchen, I was packing things, kitchen items, and Brandy walked in with her husband. They were very agitated, started to go through boxes, opening them to see what was in them. I thought, well, she might be afraid that something was being taken, right?
Right.
She came over to me where I was packing, and she bumped into me, knocked me into the box that I was packing. She was very aggressive, and she opened up the box, started to dig through.
Did you say anything to her? Did she say anything to you?
Not a thing. She didn't even say, I'm Brandy. She didn't say anything. She just did this act. I saw the agitation. I was in damage control. I thought, I don't know what's going on with these two, but I'm just going to let her look. I did. She went out, went away. A few minutes later, I went out to the garage. I went to get another box. Upon returning...
And you were doing this as a favor to Beverly?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Well, she's a very good friend of mine, and I just...
And how did she know Dakota?
I have no idea how they met, but I had something to do with their work. And she didn't have anybody there. That was the thing. She had no family, no friends. She hadn't been there very long. And so Beverly said, this girl needs help. She needs to move out today because she had surrendered the property to the landlords for non-payment. So I went over to help. She had hired some other help as well. So we were all moving, and this incident took place. I went out to the garage. I came back from the garage with a box in my hand, and Brandy stood in front of me, blocking my path to the kitchen. I didn't know what her reason to confront me was, since I didn't know her or what was going on.
Did you say anything to her?
I didn't say anything to her first. She said something to me.
What did she say?
Well, she was swinging her keys, and she had a hand on her hip and was very agitated with me, and I didn't know why. And she said, I'm not moving, and there's not a thing you can do about it. I don't know why that would matter to me, whether she moved or didn't. I was there to help Dakota get out, and I didn't know what all these incidences were between them. I said to her, well, whatever, but you need to let me pass so we can move. I went ahead and started to move, and she was swinging her keys. She advanced on me, and the key came right to my face as she was swinging it. All I did was pull my face back, and it just grazed my chin. I decided that was pretty aggressive for me. I didn't know whether, it was going to escalate.
Aggressive?
So I went and I called the police on my cell phone.
Okay, back to you.
These are the keys, ma'am. If I swung these keys around and hit somebody with them, they would leave a pretty giant mark.
Not necessarily. I believe her. I have to make a judgment.
Correct.
She tells a very simplistic story. Can you think of a reason, Miss Montgomery, that Miss McCarthy, you didn't know her, according to both of you? Think of a reason why she would call the police on you.
She knew that Dakota and I had gotten into it, and the police had already been out to the house 2 prior times between me and my roommate. Yes. And the police had told us that if they came out again, that somebody would be arrested. So I believe that she did it in spite to get me arrested, to prove a point to me, because my roommate said I owed her money for back rent.
What did she have to do with that?
Ma'am, I did not swing keys.
Yes, you did. Sure you did.
Yes, you did.
Sure you did. You were angry. You had a fight. You didn't know who she was. She was helping your roommate. You swung keys. You didn't injure her. You didn't hurt her, but you had an absolute right to call the police. Grow up. Case dismissed.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 580 on the calendar in the matter of Bell versus Fisher. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Miss Bell, Mr. Fisher was your boyfriend. You're not together anymore, and according to your complaint, he maliciously called the police, told them that you were threatening suicide. They came to your house, they took you to the hospital. You were later released, but you want him to pay the medical bill.
Right.
Mr. Fisher says he was worried. Right?
Yes.
Okay. First tell me, when had you been dating? Over what period of time?
From May of 2002 through December.
And when was this telephone call made to the police?
On August 29th.
August 29th of 02?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
That night, Gerald and I had gotten together and we were talking about a previous case. And
Previous case of what?
Domestic violence.
What previous case of domestic violence?
The week before, he had thrown a bottle at my car and damaged it, and I made a report to the police.
So you'd had a fight the week before?
It wasn't a fight.
Were you in the car when he threw something at the car?
I was driving away from him, and he was upset, and he threw the bottle. The night of this incident, he was upset that I had done all that, so he tried to bribe me.
You mean he was upset that you had called the police?
Yes. And he was
Where were you when you were having this discussion?
We were at my apartment.
Had you gone out for the evening?
No.
Did you have a date with him that night?
No, we got together that night just to discuss the situation.
Tell me about the discussion.
Through the discussion, he was trying to bribe me into dropping the domestic violence case, and he was telling me that his mother had called the police on me and told them that I had driven through his yard.
Did the police ever come to see you about those calls that were made by his mother?
No, ma'am.
So you don't know anything about it?
That's the only thing I know from what he told me.
And then you called the police on him because he threw a bottle at your car. Did he damage your car?
Yes.
Got together to talk about this incident, and then what happened?
Then I told him that since I hadn't been contacted by the police, I would only want to talk to him after they do and go through court with that. So he was upset he couldn't get another response out of me, and I asked him, are you ready to go home? So I drove him home. And on the way there, it was quiet at first, and then he started telling me, oh, you're nothing without me. You may as well go kill yourself. And so I stopped the car, and I made him get out.
How far away from his house did you make him get out?
Oh, gosh. It was about halfway there.
And about how far away was that from his house?
7 blocks.
Excuse me?
7 blocks.
7 blocks. Thank you very much. Okay, so you let him out, and what's the next thing that happened to you when you got home, Miss Bell?
Before I went to bed, I received a phone call from a dispatcher saying that someone had called on me and that the police would be on the way.
Someone had called on you about what?
A concern that they had had. She didn't exactly explain it to me over the phone.
Okay. Go ahead.
And she told me that also that the police were on their way and that they couldn't find the apartment number.
And the police did arrive?
Yes, they did.
When the police arrived at your apartment, what happened?
They questioned me about the incident in the car. And
in the car, you mean when you dropped him off?
Yes. And I told them everything that happened. And they went ahead and told me that I could either go willingly or I could go forcibly, and I decided to go willingly with them to get evaluated by a doctor because I knew I was fine, and I just knew that they would release me. But
and did they?
Yes.
And then you got a bill from the doctor?
Yes.
Can I see the reports that you have from the hospital where you were taken? Thank you. Ms. Bell, you admit to the doctor that you did say to him, when he said to you, you're worthless, you're nothing, you admit to the doctor that you said, fine, I'll just go ahead and overdose on ecstasy, that's what you said to him.
Yes.
But you didn't mean it.
I didn't say it to him.
Yes, you did. You told the doctor that you said it to him. The patient admits to the suicide statement of, I will overdose on ecstasy. The doctor has no reason to lie about that.
Yes.
Good. Did he ever choke you to the point of blacking out?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
When was that? Just a second.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It was in June.
Where?
In my apartment.
Say he also hit you many times and you have a scar. Did he do that?
Yes.
Did you ever contact the police about that?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I never even thought about it.
Did you do any of those things, Mr. Fisher?
Yes, we did have a once or twice 2 physical conflicts.
Why did you do that, Mr. Fisher?
Okay, first and foremost, Miss Selena Bell is the type of person where she can talk to you at one point and she will drive you to do another. I mean, I am the type of person, I am cool, calm, collected.
Why'd you hit her?
Why? We're in a relationship and she brought other people into a relationship, basically disrespected me and cheating on me, so I got basically fed up with it.
And you hit her?
Yes.
What about the choking her?
I believe we were playing at that time, and as far as as far as the hitting, I hit her in the shoulder, and as far as the choking, she never did black out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Selena Bell claims ex-boyfriend DJ Fisher had her falsely committed to a mental institution. DJ claims she threatened to overdose on ecstasy.
How long did you stay in the hospital, Miss Bell?
Overnight.
And then you were released the next day?
Yes, ma'am.
And your total medical bills were $782,
Yes.
Is that right? Okay, Mr. Fisher, to you. You want to tell me what happened on August 29th?
Yes, situation was me and my
Just look at me, look at me.
Okay. Me and Miss...
Go like this.
All right. Me and Miss Bell had arguments. She didn't see my side of the story, and I didn't see her side of the story. She asked if I wanted to go home. I said, yes, please. As she was taking me home, she stopped and called a friend of hers and asked for some ecstasy pills. While I was still in the car, I felt that was disrespect. So I called her out of her name, called her the B word.
We called her a name. Okay.
She asked me to basically get out the car and walk because she was going to overdose on ecstasy and commit suicide. So I ran to a friend of mine's house who was also a minister at my church, knocked on his door. He wasn't home or didn't answer his door. From his house, I ran all the way home, sprinted home. That's a while. I called the police and it was like, you know, my girlfriend's going to kill herself, you know, commit suicide because she has had a history of ecstasy in the past. They basically went to her apartment and basically took custody of her and flattened her tires and whatnot and took her to a mental hospital. From there, I believe that's where the hospital bill came in at.
Mm-hmm.
So me, myself, I was just looking out for her because we were in a relationship.
And you cared about her?
Yeah, of course.
So you had a terrible concern for her?
Yeah,
Is that right?
just like anyone.
Let me ask you this question, Mr. Fisher. You had sufficient concern for her that, let us say, you were together and she made this statement to you, you would have taken her to the hospital yourself if you were driving, right?
Out of respect, I got out of her car because she made me.
Not just pay attention to what I'm saying. Don't try to think of where I'm going, Mr. Fisher, because you're not smart enough. Do you understand? Do you understand? You're not smart enough.
Okay.
Okay. If you had been together in the car and your girlfriend, who you cared a lot about, which is why you ran home and got all out of breath, but if you were in the car together and she made this statement, you would have taken her right to an emergency room yourself, right?
Yes.
And since Miss Bell didn't have insurance, you would have said, you have to take care of her. I'll pay, right?
You said
Right.
I'll pay?
Yeah, sure. You were that concerned.
I don't care about it like that, but
You don't? Well, that's what I want to know, Mr. Fisher. That's what I'm trying to figure out, sir.
as far as...
If you... I'm speaking.
Okay.
You may be able to interrupt them, but you don't interrupt me.
All right.
Because I'm entitled to disrespect you if you deserve it.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes.
And you can't do anything about it except whine. We understand each other, Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
I'm somebody that if you feel as if has trotted on your manhood, you just have to stand there and take it and not use your hands. Do we understand each other, Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Good. Now, so my question to you is, you cared about her enough to call the police and have the police go to her house, but you didn't care enough about her that if you were together and somebody said you have to pay to admit her to the hospital, you wouldn't pay for her, right?
I mean, that's her own thing. If she wants to... I ain't got nothing to do with me anymore.
Well, if it had nothing to do with you, then what did you call the police for, Mr. Fisher?
I felt like that's the only way out, or way to the situation I had.
Did it have anything to do with the fact that she had called the police a couple of weeks earlier on you?
No, it didn't.
No. You were genuinely concerned.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Miss Bell, back to you, madam. This incident happened, according to you, on the 29th of August. And according to you, you and the defendant were boyfriend and girlfriend from May of 2002 until December of 2002. Is that right?
We were on and off.
On and off and on and off means that you were together until December of 2002. Is that right?
Correct.
And why are you here today, madam?
Because I felt like he did this out of retaliation.
Then you should have sued him in September, October, November,
Kept
December.
telling me he was going to help pay for it.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh. Well, tell me about that, Miss Bell. That's different.
I would bring it up, tell him that, you know, I just got released from active duty in the military, and, you know, I got released because of this incident. You know, I was security forces, and they don't want me being armed because of this suicidal situation.
Excuse me. May I interrupt, please?
No.
All right.
Would you just get to when he said he would pay the bill?
He would say it a number of times during our relationship.
Okay. You don't have a case for two reasons. First of all, because you did, in fact, make the statement to him, I'm going to kill myself with ecstasy. You acknowledged that statement to the doctor who examined you. But second and most important is that you continued a relationship with him for 4 months after this incident. 4 months. And if you honestly believe that he had called the police to be vindictive, to be vicious, then I don't see why a normal person would continue a relationship in any event. For both of those reasons, I'm dismissing your case. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was concerned for her safety. I mean, we were together. Anybody in a relationship would basically support each other.
I'm tired of people messing up my credit, and that's all he was after, is trying to ruin me.
I really don't know why I'm going through this situation, but I'll be all right.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Detweiler versus Davison, step forward, please.
23-year-old student Miranda Detweiler is suing her former friend, 21-year-old stagehand Sandra Davison, for the return of her belongings. Sandra is countersuing for rent and stolen property.
Miss Detweiler, when were you in rehab?
July of 2002.
For how long?
21 days.
What kind of substances were you abusing?
Heroin and other things.
Was it a court-ordered rehab?
No.
When you got out in August?
Yes.
Did you go for follow-up treatment?
Yes.
What kind of treatment?
I'm still going to outpatient therapy, and I have a caseworker, and I go to counseling.
Take methadone?
No, I take Paxil.
According to your complaint, when you got out of rehab, you needed a place to stay. Miss Davidson and her husband, is this your husband, boyfriend?
Ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend, invited you to come and stay with them.
Yes.
I assume she was a good friend of yours.
Yes.
According to Miss Davidson, there were a couple of conditions for that, and one of the conditions was that you stay away from the ex-boyfriend. Is that right?
Yes.
And get yourself together. There came a time when Miss Davidson told you to leave. She put you out of the house, and you claim she kept some of your property and has not returned your property.
Yes.
Ms. Davidson said you had ample opportunity to take all of your property. She doesn't have any of your property, and she's counterclaiming because she says either you or your boyfriend stole some stuff from her house, and you never paid rent as you had agreed to pay.
Miranda Detweiler claims former friend Sandra Davison won't return her belongings. Sandra claims Miranda's ex-boyfriend stole her property and sold it for drugs.
How long did she stay with you?
For about 7 months.
What was the rent agreement?
$50 a week for the whole time she was there.
Was she working when she got out of rehab?
No, ma'am.
So how did you expect her to pay $50 a week?
She was expected to try and find a job to the best of her ability.
So you didn't expect her to pay rent until she found the job?
Yeah.
All right, let's get the whole thing together. When did she finally find a job?
And beginning of December.
So from August until December, she wasn't working?
No.
So how was she going to pay you rent? Right. So that takes care of the rent. You didn't tell her to leave in August, September, October, November, did you?
No, I didn't want to see her go back on the streets and...
Good. I assume that, but for the fact that she filed this lawsuit, you wouldn't have filed a counterclaim for the rent. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So spend my time and energy on things that are important. What kind of things did she steal from your apartment?
She didn't steal it. She had her boyfriend at the time. She snuck him into the house, and he removed property from us and...
Like what?
Sold it. $900 bass guitar, $150 worth of DVDs, and a $350 PlayStation 2, and sold it for drugs.
When did the boyfriend get out of jail?
I'm not exactly sure.
When
the
did he get
date.
out of jail?
A week before Christmas of that year, 2002. This stuff was stolen.
Week before Christmas.
Yes.
When did he go into jail?
July.
When was your stuff stolen?
January of 2002.
So is what you're telling me before she moved into your apartment, before she was in rehab, she had let somebody in a year before?
No, it was the same year. Her and her boyfriend got kicked out of their apartment. So we told them that they could stay with us. She had a job. She was paying rent, $50 a week. And the boyfriend was supposed to be getting a job. During that time, we gave him a month, and he never got a job, so we told him we wanted him to leave. She was still paying. She was allowed to stay, but we didn't want him around because we knew he was still using drugs. She snuck him into the house numerous times, and once we found out about it, we told her to leave.
Is that right? Just answer the question. Is that right?
Not exactly true.
Close.
Okay.
Was it close?
Close.
The boyfriends took some stuff from their apartment?
Without my knowledge, yes.
He may have taken it without your knowledge, but he got into the apartment with your knowledge.
Yes.
So you helped them. They were being nice to you, and they got kicked in the teeth.
What is not mentioned is that they were friends long before that I met him. He used to live with them at their old apartment.
They put him out. You let him back in. If he took their property and sold it, you're as responsible. Now, what are you kvetching about things that these people didn't return to you?
I have a list of things that she kept of mine. She destroyed a lot of my stuff. She peed on my shoes.
Go ahead.
So there's so many things in here that they're just broken. She took all my liquid stuff and poured it all over my clothes. There was an open beer in my clothes. There was just a lot of, like, all my good stuff she kept. Like my blades and...
What did you do about reimbursing her for all the stuff your boyfriend had stolen?
It's not like it's just my boyfriend. I'm the one who told her about it. She wouldn't have even known I stole it. He stole it. I'm the one who told him he stole it.
What did you do about paying her back for all the stuff that your boyfriend stole with your help?
I shouldn't have to.
Why not?
Because it's not my fault.
Sure it is, honey. Oh, yes, it is. It's your fault. You let him in.
He was staying there.
No, they had put him out. They had put him out. They told you could stay because you were paying rent, but he was still using, so he was out. And then he went back to jail, right?
Yes.
So they were right to put him out.
Yes.
Ms. Detweiler, I wouldn't complain if I were you. Listen, classic example of no good deed goes unpunished. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm not going to get the value of your stuff back, but I certainly are not going to even listen to the nonsense about somebody spilling a bottle of shampoo in her stuff. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 540 on the calendar in the matter of Lewis versus Yao Mangrobang. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Miss Lewis, I gather it was Miss Mangrobang who was your roommate in school. Is that right?
That is right, Your Honor.
And Mr. Yao is her boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, they asked if they could borrow your car, use your car. You weren't using it because it didn't have insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
It's an old car.
It's a 1992 Chevrolet Lumina.
And it had about 166,000 miles on it. Is that
Which
right?
is not uncommon for a car of
Just
that
answer
age.
my question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you told them that they could use the car as long as they insured it. They used it, and it is your claim that they ran it into the ground by not taking proper care of it, and you want to be compensated. In addition, you claim that when you complained, there was some interaction between the two of you. Miss Mangrobang said that she wanted to move out of the dorm, blamed you for causing her some discomfort, which caused you to be investigated by the university, because that's where you know each other from. So you want compensation for that because you feel as if she damaged your reputation. Ms. Mangrobang and Mr. Yao say that you have embarked upon a campaign of harassing them, and they are counterclaiming.
That's correct.
All right, Miss Lewis, on what date did you loan them the car?
I loaned them the car, and they began their insurance on it on October 10th.
Okay, when did you get the car back?
We had agreed that they would return the car on December 12th. However, they were refusing to return my property in a timely manner, and so...
Just a minute. Just answer. Let me run the shop.
Okay.
They were supposed to return it on 12/12. What date did they return it?
We confiscated it back on the 12th, the night of the 12th.
And what happened on the 13th?
Well, the night of the 12th, They drove off as soon as we came to claim the car. And as soon as I put my key in the ignition, you could hear this loud ticking noise as well as a grinding noise. And I tried to call them, and Rufan was not answering my cell phone call. I called Melanie, and I told her, please meet us back at the university. That's where I'm taking the car right now. We need to talk about this. And Scott and I stayed up until about 2:30 in the morning waiting for them, and they never showed.
Okay. What happened to her car?
Well, first of all, the car's condition.
Don't give me first of all.
Right.
What happened to her car? You drove it from October 10th
Mm-hmm.
and had it in your possession up until the 12th of December.
Right.
So I'm asking you, when did you start to have trouble with the car?
Mechanically, probably about 2-3 days before I returned the car to them.
Now, when you say you returned the car to them, was the car returned to them in the way that Miss Lewis has described?
She did pick up the car from my workplace.
So it was when she picked up the car. You started to have trouble with it 2 or 3 days before?
Right.
When did you call her and tell her that you were having trouble with the car?
The day that the car started having problems.
Well, what did you say to her?
I told her that the car's grinding noise, which I originally had when I borrowed the car, is getting a little bit louder, and that the engine isn't as powerful as it used to be.
Did you ever take the car in to be fixed, to be looked at by a mechanic?
No.
Why not?
At the time, I didn't have the time to go in because I worked every day.
Well, that's your responsibility, though. If you borrow somebody's property, you're supposed to take good care of it. If it starts to have a noise that it didn't have before, or the noise starts to get worse, then you're supposed to take the car in and be responsible with it. Take it to a mechanic.
Because the car already had the noise and the grinding sound, so that I figured it was the original problem. It was getting a little bit worse. And I used to have a car that sort of had a similar problem, and it was easily fixed, so I figured it was the same problem. I could have taken it over the weekend.
That's a nice excuse. Sir, what I'm telling you is, you borrowed this car, it was an old car, it had problems. There's no question about it that the car probably made a whole bunch of noises. But what you're telling me is that the car started to get worse.
Right.
And what you did was continue to drive it, hearing the noise getting a little bit louder and a little bit louder and a little bit louder, and you knew you had to return it back on December 12th anyway, so you didn't take it in to have it fixed, and that's irresponsible. Very irresponsible when you borrow somebody else's property. You got me?
Right.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Nicolette Lewis says ex-roommate Melanie Mangrobang and her boyfriend, Rufan Yao, owe for damaging her car. Nicolette claims Rufan borrowed the vehicle and ran it into the ground.
You have a tape there you want to show me? What is it a tape of?
This is a tape of the engine and the inside of the car upon its return, or when we got it back.
What did it look like before? You have a picture of the before?
It's a tape recording of the engine itself, so you can hear the noises that were not present before.
You just said to me that it also contains the interior of the car.
Mm-hmm. Well, just the fact that he had kept it a mess. He wasn't.
Well, I don't know what it looked like before.
Oh.
That's what I asked you.
Sorry.
Pay attention. I said, do you have pictures of what the car looked like before?
No, I do not.
Well, you want to tell me what it looked like before.
The interior of the car was fine. It wasn't vacuumed when I gave it to him, but there wasn't any trash laying around, and there weren't any spills or stains or burn marks.
Let me see.
Just showing his general maintenance of the interior of the car. This is actually how we received the car back. This is just another shot.
Is that the sound you were hearing, Mr. Yao?
That's correct.
We lent to find out of Goodwill to be completely ruined the car.
What?
First of all, I'd like to add that I wasn't the only one driving the car during that period. In fact, Miss Lewis and her boyfriend drove it for about a week, and since...
When?
It was in October.
In October? Okay. Listen to me, Mr. Yao. You did not get the car making that noise because you wouldn't have taken a car that was making that noise. And once you heard that sound starting to escalate, was your responsibility to either call her immediately and say, I'm returning it, or take it in and have it fixed. You didn't do that. You are responsible. Now, you want to tell me about the rest of your lawsuit with regard to bad name being bantied about the dormitory?
Yes, actually, the first words out of my mouth when I heard the sound in my car when I called Melanie the night of the 12th was, Melanie, I love you, your family. She's actually my second cousin. And I told her I don't want this to affect our relationship, but I have a problem with your boyfriend. In fact, I have a transcript of one of our conversations between myself and Mr. Yao in which he says, take it to court. I don't care. You still won't get a penny. And I was asking Melanie how she would let her boyfriend treat her family with such disrespect. And there was a little bit of tension.
That's a good question. You want to answer that question?
I didn't know we were family until December, I think Thanksgiving. No, she had called me during Thanksgiving saying, I'm staying with my aunt in California, and I showed her a picture, and I mentioned that your last name was Mangrobang, and her aunt said, oh, we're related to the Mangrobangs, and that's all.
What difference does it make? You were roommates.
Yes.
You know, you mean you can treat family one way, but you treat non-family dishonorably?
No, I never treated her dishonorably.
He did. Why?
Well, the thing I have to address is that what she said is only after what I've tried to work out with her. I originally did agree to help her fix the car when they said, okay, they'll try to fix it. And then later on, they said after her boyfriend worked on the car, and the car entirely stopped working at all.
That car sounds like it's on its last leg. That car doesn't have any more life in it. You know,
No, the car was driving, and I mean, I got to places.
Listen to me. You're not supposed to use somebody else's property to the point where it is gasping for its last breath. What you're supposed to do if someone has entrusted you with their property is treat it better than you would treat your own. That's what you do.
And actually, I did.
No, you didn't, sir, because that car was not treated better than your own. And if that's the way you treat your property, I would suggest, Miss Mangrobang, that you think twice before hitching your star to his wagon. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the way he treats property, just think how he's going to treat your heart. Now, you want to get on with the story about your name in the dorm? Come on.
Okay.
She made a complaint. She wanted to move out of the dorm. She said that you were bothering her. Is that what happened?
Well, actually, I hadn't heard from Melanie in a few days.
Listen, get to the bottom line. Is that what happened? And then you had to go before a hearing board.
Yes.
Okay. And they found you not guilty of bothering her.
They said that this is an issue for the court, and they wanted to see how the court case comes on. But they said that if, in fact, I am found guilty of harassment, then they sat me down and went through all the procedures and what would happen if I was found for harassment. And
you didn't harass her?
I did not.
No, you didn't harass her. I don't think she harassed you. Did she harass you?
She just made it very uncomfortable to live with her.
Listen, you're very uncomfortable. You can get very uncomfortable if your underpants are too tight.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? That doesn't mean you file a complaint. You're a big girl. Sometimes you'll have a roommate that makes you comfortable. Sometimes you have a roommate that makes you uncomfortable. That doesn't mean that you file a complaint. Do you understand?
But, Your Honor, if her boyfriend, and I believe she was also in it, also threatened to kill me
Just a
personally.
second. Just a second. Not she. Boyfriend and father, according to you.
Well, she was also with him at the time, and I believe...
You cannot impugn to her actions of other people. She did not threaten to kill you. All she did was make your girlfriend, according to your girlfriend, uncomfortable, like a pair of 5 underpants when you're a 7.
Your Honor, I'm on a full honor scholarship at the university, and included in the scholarship is a room grant. And if I were to be found guilty of harassment, which I believe she claimed to get out of the room maliciously and without cause.
Okay, you made her uncomfortable.
Because I made her uncomfortable.
You made her uncomfortable.
And
she has a low threshold of pain.
I believe she maliciously filed that for the university to try to embarrass me and try to jeopardize.
I don't think she did that. I don't think she did that.
Your Honor, I don't think a note that says you, Mel,
just a second,
would say that.
Yes.
I mean, it wouldn't mean that she is not harassing.
She's annoying her. It's uncomfortable.
And also
Pay careful attention to me, sir. Your girlfriend said to her, my boyfriend really needs a car. He's got to get to and from work. She had a car. She didn't charge you any money, did she?
No.
No, she was really nice to you. Why would somebody who's all of a sudden so nice to you let you take her car so that you could get to and from work all of a sudden become a monster? You think she drank some sort of a potion? No. You know what happened? You were disrespectful with her property. You treated it like crap, and she got annoyed. And when you refused to step up to the plate and take responsibility for not treating her property, I'm speaking. She may be afraid of you, I'm not. When you refused to step up to the plate, she got irritated. And she got irritated with you, and she got irritated with her roommate, who came to her and said, could my boyfriend please borrow your car because he did. And she said yes. And then she didn't say to you, listen, Yao, you didn't treat my friend's car properly. You're going to have to help pay for it. She was disappointed.
Well,
so she wrote a nasty note. What do you want to say now?
Well, first of all, I did try to step up to the plate and try to make amends.
What did you do?
I offered to help fix the car. And then when her boyfriend took the car apart and said it's totaled and it can't be fixed, I told her to write up a list of what you want in your next car, and we'll work something out, and I'll try to find a car to that specification for you, and which I believe is reasonable because...
That's reasonable. That's more than reasonable. So you were going to buy her another car?
I was saving up money to buy myself a car. That's why I had all the car magazines.
So you were going to buy her another car?
Right, with the money.
What?
He was going to buy himself a car, and he said that if I wanted, that I could go up, write up a notarized list of everything that I wanted in a car. And if I would notarize a list saying if he buys this, that I will dismiss any claims. And I said, oh, wow, so you're going to get me a new car. Great, that's what I need. He goes, yeah, and then afterward, we can compromise and figure out who owes how much of the car. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I'm only going to pay what I feel responsible for. I'm like, well, how much are you thinking of doing? He's like, I don't know, we'll have to see. And so that sounds like he's trying to catch me in a trap again. And I went to Melanie, I said, how much is he going to put down? She's like, maybe like 100, possibly 2.
Well, $100, $200 is not going to buy her a set of wheels.
Your Honor, actually, I just found this car on the internet. It's the exact same car. It's actually in better condition. It has bumpers, rearview mirrors, $350.
May I speak?
Can I see the... No, I don't want to hear you.
I believe that the issue with the car is that...
I would also like to see the Kelley Blue Book, please.
When we saw the damage to the car, when we figured what it might have been, we said, hey, will you sponsor the cost of the parts if my boyfriend will do the labor, because he has worked as a mechanic before. And we estimated that if it was a problem with the oil pump, it would cost maybe $45 for a part and about half an hour of labor. But however, when he refused to tell me that the car was damaged in the beginning and he didn't park it, it caused the oil pump to blow, the camshaft, the lifters, the rockers, everything in the top end was gone, and you have to replace the entire motor, and I have an estimate for that, which would have costed about $4,039 to repair the car.
Your car's not worth more than $1,000.
Yeah, so that's
Listen
why
to me.
I'm not
Your car's not worth more than $1,000. This car, the Kelley Blue Book, is for $2,000 with 100,000 miles on it. Your car had almost 170,000 miles on it. Now, your case hasn't been resolved yet, has it, with the university?
They haven't pressed anything against me so far.
And they won't. Are you still in the dorm?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. Very good. Take $1,000, go buy yourself a new car. Now, let's get to your counterclaim. You want to tell me very, very quickly what it is that you claim she did to you to harass you?
She just said a lot of things that made me not too happy living with her, like about my boyfriend, about the car situation, and like when we're watching television or something, and like, oh, there's Joe Millionaire, you know what that reminds me of? Oh, yeah, it reminds me of you, your boyfriend, like how those girls think that, you know, they're going to get this really nice guy and they're going to actually
She told me she thinks she's going to be the next Bill Gates.
And then, like, when we watch TV or something, she'd constantly, like, say random, like, comments about my boyfriend and about this car situation when I wasn't involved. The original agreement was between her and my boyfriend.
Let me ask you this question, madam.
Yes?
You don't get compensated for being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's absolutely no case for harassment. The other thing that I have to ask you is, do you think that but for the fact that he was your boyfriend, she would have loaned him the car?
I don't think so, since they didn't know each other.
Right. So when you say you had nothing to do with the arrangement because it was just between the two of them, how can you say that? The only reason she got involved with this whole situation is because of you. They didn't know each other. So you were involved.
Oh, but the agreement about the payment and stuff and driving it.
They didn't know each other. She was doing you a favor. Do you understand? Good. And you did the wrong thing. In any event, I'm issuing a judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000, and I'm dismissing your counterclaim. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 546 on the calendar in the matter of Newsom versus Harris. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Stand over there, please. Your last name is what?
Crispin, C-R-I-S-P-I-N.
Mr. Crispin, I think that you're an integral part of this case, which is why I asked you to stand up with Miss Harris. Uncross your arms, please. Miss Newsom, I'm going to try to set up what I believe is the family tree here so that we all understand it. You have a child who is 7 years old.
Correct.
Mr. Crispin, I assume, is the father of that child.
Correct.
Miss Harris is his current girlfriend. Is that right?
That's correct.
Do you have any children together?
No, we do not.
It is your claim that Miss Harris called you around holiday time last year and asked if you would do them a favor. Mr. Crispin wanted to take the child that you share, your son, to visit his family over the holidays. And Miss Harris was calling to find out if you would rent a car using your credit card so that he could take Miss Harris, I assume, or not Miss Harris, just your son and himself to visit his family over the holidays. Miss Harris was doing that because she wanted to make him happy.
Probably.
And she said they didn't have a credit card. Would you rent the car in your name and she would pay you?
Correct.
And she even gave you a check for $250 for the deposit.
Correct.
And you said?
Well, I told her that I would go on and rent the car based on the fact that she asked me, not because of him, and plus because of my son.
Okay. Now, did you get along with Miss Harris?
Yes.
Excuse me, Judge.
What?
Do me a favor. Take your hands out of your pants, please.
How should I be standing
Just
like
stand
this?
with your hand. Just stand with your hands to your side.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Bert. You get along with Miss Harris?
Yeah, she was cool. We was pleasant. I got
And when
along.
your son goes to visit,
Exactly.
she's nice to him?
She
so you got
called
along.
and checked up to see how he was doing and everything. Exactly.
Good. Perfect. But I assume you don't get along with Mr. Crispin that well?
No, I do not.
Okay. So you said you would rent the car for her?
Exactly.
Now, how did she get this check to you?
Well, we met up at Key Bank, and she gave me the check, deposited it into my account.
And then where did you go?
Then we went to the rental car place at the airport.
And on what date did you rent the car?
It was Christmas Eve, December 24th.
So what happened next?
After we rented the car, I got insurance on the car because I knew that I was not going to be the one driving the car, that he was, because my car insurance paid for rental cars. So we rode up the street off Seltzer Road. We exchanged. I gave him.
Did they have him listed as a driver?
No, they didn't. No.
Why not?
Because we
Don't
didn't
they
set
usually
it up.
do that?
That's the way it's supposed to be done.
That's the way it's supposed to be done. But we didn't do it that way.
So you
And-
did it the wrong way?
Yes.
In the contract that you signed, didn't they say, are you the only driver?
Well, they asked was I the only driver.
And you wrote down yes. So what happened next?
After we departed ways, went home, and I rented the car for a week. Just in case he didn't make it back due to traffic or the weather or whatever. I rented the car for a week. And April had agreed, when she gave me the check for the $250, she had agreed that she would hook up with me Friday so she could give me the rest of the money on the rental car.
How much was the entire rental car?
The entire rental car for the week was like $431.
Okay.
Okay. So I called her Thursday And I said, April, are we going to meet up Friday? And she was like, well, I have a meeting at my job, so let's do it Saturday. I said, what time? I said, I'll base my schedule around yours. She said around 12. I said, okay, fine. I gave her till 1:06. Called the house. She did not answer the phone. So then I said, okay. So then I called back later. I said, April, she answered the phone. I was like, April, what's going on? Are you going to meet me to get the money? Well, Jeffrey's not back. I said, what does Jeffrey being back have to do with you giving me the money for the car? She said, well, I can't get to the bank. I said, well, April, he has the rental car. He doesn't have your car, so he's not going to be using your car. He's out of town. And she said, well, I have to wait till Jeffrey get back. I said, okay, fine. I said, well, you know that the car is supposed to have been turned back today. And I said, if the car goes any longer, you're going to be responsible for paying those extra days. She said, well, I know, but I'm not. She said, I don't have an ATM card, and I need to go to the bank, but I can't go to the bank until Monday because I don't have an ATM card.
Did she ever give you the money?
No, she didn't.
What happened with the $250 check?
Well, she gave me the check for the $250. I deposited it into my account. A few days later, I received a letter from my bank, which is right here, stating, please find enclosed a copy of the 12/24/2002 deposit of $250, which has been returned unpaid due to the account is closed. As a result, we have deducted this amount from your account along with a $20 return deposit fee.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Lavonda Newsom claims her ex-boyfriend's current girlfriend, April Harris, owes for a loan to rent a car. April says Lavonda should be suing her ex.
Okay. Okay, Miss Harris. I know there are a couple of other smaller issues with regard to gas in the car and that sort of stuff, but I would like to hear your version of these events, madam.
Okay. Granted, she wasn't called to ask to rent the car for Jeffrey. Okay? She told me that she needed an extra $250 to show for a deposit in the...
Now, just a second. She called you? Or
she had informed me when she was calling the rental car companies.
I want to know how you got to the rental car company. Did you call her and ask her to rent this car?
I just said that. I
Well,
said after I
slower.
spoke to her. Okay.
Let's go a little slower.
I called her.
You called her for what purpose?
To see if she would help me rent Jeffrey a car. Jeffrey was wanting to go home to Alabama for Christmas. She had told me that the amount of the rental required a $250 deposit. I told her that I would give her a check for $250. However, that check will not clear my bank. She said that was fine. I told her, and she did know, that if it's a deposit, that she would get the deposit back for the rental.
Why didn't you rent a car for Jeffrey?
My credit card was maxed out at the time it was Christmas. And this was a last
So, Miss
minute
Harris,
thing.
listen to me carefully.
I'm listening.
So, Miss Newsom is correct when she says that you called and asked to rent a car for your boyfriend using her credit card because you couldn't use yours. This was going to be a gift for him from you, right?
For the both.
I didn't ask you a thing.
Actually,
this was going to be a gift from you for Jeffrey.
Yes.
However,
right. Sir, ma'am, I do apologize for that, Your Honor.
Just a second.
Per my understanding.
Don't tell me what your understanding was. Don't pay no attention to what he's saying to you, madam. I want you to understand this. You don't want me to make you look foolish, do you? You know I have that capacity to do that if you're lying to me. You understand that?
Yes.
You don't want to look foolish in front of a whole bunch of people, including Bird. So you called her and said, I want to rent a car for Jeffrey as a gift for him. But I don't have a credit card. Can we use yours? Which is pretty much what she said. Is that right?
Not in the same language that you just
I don't
spoke
care
back
what
in
language it was. That was the
if you want
understanding.
me to tell you what happened, then I would be more than happy to tell you my side. But that would require me speaking.
Around Christmas, according to your answer that you swore to, Miss Newsom, that's her, wanted to rent a car for the holidays but lacked the $250 deposit. That's what you swore to in your answer, but that wasn't true. You called her to rent a car for him.
Per my understanding, they had already spoke about renting the car to go down there.
True. And she already knew.
She needed an extra $250 deposit.
She knew about the check and everything.
No.
She knew.
I didn't speak to you.
Well, the truth ain't been told here.
Did you hear? Did you hear me? I didn't speak to you.
I understand that.
Good, then sit down.
I'll do so. I'm tired of standing.
Good. I know. You probably work very hard.
I do.
No, he don't.
I do.
You do?
He don't.
Really? How much child support does he pay?
He doesn't pay me. He's been sworn. He
Need to check the mail.
Okay, question. I'm going to answer your question. 0. How much? 0.
Could take some of his gold. Maybe we can sell it.
Exactly.
Listen! Your answer, Miss Harris, says she wanted to rent a car but lacked $250. Now, what doesn't make sense is for her to want to do something nice for Jeffrey. Do you understand? I don't even know Jeffrey, and I wouldn't want to do anything nice for him for Christmas.
Exactly.
Lavonda Newsom claims her ex-boyfriend's current girlfriend, April Harris, owes for a loan to rent a car. April says Lavonda should be suing her ex.
Did he have a good time over the holiday?
I don't think so. I don't know.
You don't live together anymore?
Yes, we still do.
So when he came back, you didn't say to him, honey, did you have a good time?
No, because all of this was just too much drama filled. In other words, I was trying to do a good deed, and I'm the one who got snipped in the butt.
A good deed for whom?
For him, and per my understanding for her, because her daughter was going away with her father for Christmas, so she was going, Quavon was going with her, with Jeffrey. So basically, all in the matter is to settle things, to make everything just copacetic for Christmas. Her daughter's going to be with her father. Quavon would have been with Jeffrey. She would have been on for Christmas. I would have been on for Christmas. The check was given. She was aware of that, okay?
I'm talking about who called whom. You called her.
They called
And according
both.
to you, said to her, would you do this for me because I don't have a credit card that I can use? That's what you said to her.
Pretty much, because she was calling wanting to know if Jeffrey would be able to take their son, or is Jeffrey still going to take their son to Alabama?
Exactly.
And I said, I'm not sure yet, because Jeffrey, until the last moment, did not say he really wanted to go until Christmas Eve.
But you had made the arrangement before Christmas Eve to rent the car for him, is that right?
Not with her, no.
He called me a week prior.
What date did you call her to rent the car?
I think it was the day before New Year's Eve, which was the
day,
23rd.
not New Year's Eve, you mean Christmas?
The day before, which would have been the 23rd of December.
So I'm saying to you, you said he didn't make up his mind that he wanted to go until Christmas Eve, but you had spoken to her before.
No, I didn't speak to her until that day.
A day prior is before.
A day before?
Well, yes, ma'am, yeah.
Give her money, $600. Judgment for the plaintiff. Goodbye. Hope you enjoy him.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Whatever the situation may be, she should have went at him. So obviously there's some type of vendetta, but she got her money, so she has no reason to call my house. She has no reason to bother me whatsoever. So I hope she just gets to life and get on with herself.
Even though she told me I should have got it from Jeffrey, but I wouldn't have rented the car if Jeffrey would have came to me and asked me for the car. I did it for the sake of her and my son, because she came to me because me and her was cool.
She wanted me to take my son out of town. She wanted to go do whatever she wanted to do, and that's case closed, you know?
My son is going to be, he's the one that's going to basically be out of it due to the fact I'm not letting him see his dad due to the fact his dad don't pay child support.
That ain't got nothing to do with this here. You running business all out like that.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Peterson versus Matheson. Step forward, please.
21-year-old equipment operator Edward Peterson is suing the mother of his underage ex-girlfriend, healthcare provider Sherry Matheson, for unpaid rent. Sherry claims, in lieu of rent, she did housework.
Mr. Peterson, it is your claim that the defendant owes you for rent. Owes you for rent for herself and her daughter when they lived with you in a shared house and you were all on a lease.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Matheson says there was never an agreement that she was going to pay you rent. Mr. Peterson, when did you lease this house and who lived there?
I began the lease on this house, I believe it was the 4th of October of last year, and the initial parties that moved in were myself, Sherry, her daughter Amber, and Sherry's boyfriend Dan.
Now, in reading these papers, it is intimated in these papers that Amber, that's the daughter, was your girlfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
And how old are you, sir?
I'm 21 years old.
And how old was Amber when she moved in?
I found out that she was 16.
Amber was 16.
Now, I was at the
Wait,
time...
shh. Okay, what you know. Amber was 16 at the time, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how many bedrooms were in this house?
It was a 2-bedroom townhome.
I assume that Miss Matheson, who moved in with her boyfriend, and your boyfriend's name is?
Dan.
Dan, shared one bedroom.
Yes, ma'am.
And you shared another bedroom with Amber,
Yes, ma'am.
with her mother's consent.
Yes.
Shame on you. Big time. How many months did that arrangement continue?
That arrangement continued for 2 months, and at the end of the second month, I had not received any money from Amber or her mother for the
Amber
rent.
wasn't going to pay you any money, sir. Is that the arrangement, that Amber pay you money?
The arrangement was that everybody pays their own portion of the rent. There were 4 of us
Well,
living
Amber
there.
can't pay her portion of the rent because Amber's a minor. Right?
Correct.
So how much was her mother supposed to pay?
Let's see. Her mother would have paid the $312 for herself per month, and the agreement was that she would also pay the $312 for her daughter, which would be $650 or $625.
Bull. Bull. There's no way that Miss Matheson said to you, "You're sleeping with my daughter in your bedroom, and I'm going to pay her rent." You're lucky you're not in jail, sir. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Your lawsuit is the height of chutzpah. Why you would expose yourself is absolutely beyond me. Are you still in this apartment?
Yes, I am.
So why in the world, Mr. Peterson, would you come to court and say, I, in effect, depending upon the jurisdiction where I lived, committed statutory rape, and I'm here to ask her for rent?
The reason is, Your Honor, because for the months of December, January, February, and March, I was laid off from my job.
Yes.
And I needed their portion of the rent to help cover the bills of the townhome, help cover the rent and utility bills, which is the whole reason we're in court.
All right, Miss Matheson, you tell me. I mean, because I'm not too fond of you either. I want to explain that to you. I think as a mother, you are a jerk. But you want to explain to me, madam, what you claim this rent arrangement was?
When we agreed to move in together, he said that he would take care of Amber's portion of the rent and everything.
Of course he did.
And he said, Dan will end up taking care of yours. And he said, and with you doing the laundry and the cleaning and always had meals fixed and everything, he said, that'll take care of yours.
And then what happened to
and
Dan?
I always put money in and paid because I always had money coming in.
From what?
From my savings account in Kansas. And then I had child support.
Did your ex-husband know what these living arrangements were in this house?
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about his daughter at all.
That's lovely to hear. I think you people all deserve each other. Except you. The case is dismissed, sir. You're lucky you're not in jail. You don't have any other children, do you?
Mm-mm.
Perfect.
Parties are excused. Step out, please.